Matt Wolf on a recent video said something that I thought was so interesting, and I wonder where this is going to take us. I actually just did a video breaking down what he's talking about. Here's the thumbnail. This is what it looks like. You should go watch it. So anyways, I watch Matt Wolf all the time. I'm a big fan. He was talking about this tool called NotebookLM, and it blew my mind and it blew his, and he revealed being, well, you'll see in this clip. This is interesting. Watch this.
I'm probably going to make a whole separate video just talking about NotebookLM. My only fear is that people will start getting podcast versions of my YouTube videos instead of actually watching my YouTube videos, which sort of disincentivizes me to make the YouTube videos. I think it's really cool, but I'm sort of conflicted about the implications of it, if I'm being totally honest.
This stood out to me a lot because this is the first AI tool that I've seen Matt Wolf review and talk about where he shared even a hint of what I think is probably a legitimate concern of his, because his channel is so positive and because he always intentionally stays so removed from his opinions on these tools. He just talks about them. For him to say something about it stood out to me. And I think there's a lot to that. I think that the world of content creation, whether it's for a brand, a business, or an individual who's making their living as a content creator, man, that world is at the very least changing in some profound ways. And I think that the best thing we can do, the thing I'm trying to do, is just stay on top of all of these new tools and the trends and the changes. I think that's all we can do. It is changing at such a rapid rate, though, that it hurts my head. You've heard, if you're into AI, you've heard Mark Zuckerberg talk about this. He thinks that AI, I should play a clip from it. I'll look it up. I'll do that for you. You little sweetheart. Here's his general approach, and I'll play this clip. But he believes that AI's future is going to be very personal to the individual, where you'll have an AI that's trained on you and your preferences and your interests. And obviously, this is going to be the future. A lot of people are going to be impacted by this because Apple is doing the same thing. Apple Intelligence apparently comes out in March or sometime early next year. And I think when it does, those who have new phones that will allow the update to update on their phones, I think it's going to change how we use devices. I think devices are going away and we're just going to start using AI to do everything. And we'll have, how this will impact content is that we'll all have AI avatars, copies of ourselves, digital copies of ourselves that will be our online personas, creating content for others. And others can just ask our persona, our AI persona, to talk about whatever interests them. Like that's where it seems like content is going. And not like way down in the future. Like this stuff is available. And I think NotebookLM for Matt Wolf and for a lot of people is just the first time that we're like, I'm not a content creator. I'm not one of those cool kids. But for content creators and businesses and brands who are using social media content to build their brand and get leads, man, I think it's changing rapidly. And if you are not keeping up on this stuff, man, you're going to have a rough time. Anyways, watch this interview with Mark Zuckerberg.
In the future, there will be content that is purely generated by AI, by the system, personalized for you. Maybe it's summarizing things that are out there that are going to be interesting. Maybe it's just producing something funny that makes you laugh. This is going to be like a very kind of deep zone that there's a lot to experiment with. I know there are going to be AI creators as well as creators building AI versions of themselves. I mean, that's a thing that we just showed too at Connect. Is basically, I mean, if you're a creator, one of the big challenges is like, all right, there are only so many hours in the day and your community probably has a nearly unlimited demand to interact with you.
It's so strange to me to listen to him describe the future of AI, because it used to be you'd hear some futurist or somebody who worked in technology talk about future innovations that are coming and you'd just be like, wow, one day that could be a reality. But you knew, it might not be in your lifetime, or it may not be for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Who knows? It's just an idea for down the road. But we live in a world today where he's describing things that are the same level as, whoa, that's crazy. But he follows it up with, we just announced this today. We're doing this right now. It's available. And maybe it's not available, but it will be like soon. It's just crazy to be able to watch these incredible creative innovators and technologists talk about what the future is going to look like, but not 50 years from now or the next generation, but like, this year or next. You'll see this very soon, or it's available. We're already working on it.
If we can make it so that each creator can basically make an AI artifact that their community can interact with, people will be clear that it's not the actual creator themselves, but it's almost like a piece of digital art that you're producing.
I think that's the other thing, at least for a while, it's going to be like, we have to make this clear that this is not the real person. And the reason for that, the reason he would even mention that, like, of course, we'll know, you'll know that this is the AI avatar.
People will be clear that it's not the actual creator themselves, but
is because these experiences, AI audio creation and video, is so real. We're this close from it being indistinguishable from reality. So how do you control that? Big companies, maybe like Meta and OpenAI, who have a lot of eyeballs on them and have a lot to lose, will make sure they're, keeping safety a high priority. But you're going to have other companies who aren't following the rules, who are just going to have this open sourced, version allowing you to create maybe an avatar of yourself that is so real. Your friends and family won't be able to tell it's not you. Then what do you do? I mean, that I don't know, but man, oh man. Anyways, he goes on and on. It's a very interesting interview. I'll put the links to both these videos in the description below, and you should check them out because they are fascinating. But my word, to say that things are changing a little bit is such an understatement. So if you're working in the world of content creation for your brand, business, or for yourself, man, I recommend stay on top of all of these tools that are changing, because if you don't, you get so far behind so fast. Anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to grow it as fast as I can because there's not much time to try to make an impact, I think, before I get replaced. Am I even real? How do you know?